This is where I absolutely fell in love with Destiny. I was like 13, I was in 8th grade or something like that. School was not great. I was getting like bullied and it was just rough. And I was looking for any escape imaginable, and video games were that. I would literally get home from school, log on to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 on Xbox and play it from the second I got home until the second I went to bed. I didn't do any of my homework. I didn't study for any tests, and my grades went. I very vividly remember an algebra test that my teacher gave to my parents, and they were going over it with me, and I didn't even fill out like 50% of the test. My parents did what realistically any good set of parents would do. They took away my Xbox. So I got, naturally I got my grades back up. Like 2 months later, they gave it back to me. I just wasn't interested in it at all though. And I really didn't play any video games at all from 8th grade, the age of 13, until I was a junior in high school. So I would have been 16, 17. And I wanted to kind of find a way to like spend a little bit more time with my younger brother, connect with him a little bit more. And all I heard him talk about was Destiny. He would tell me, we used to do these things called family meetings, and as a family we would get together weekly and we would talk about like what we did that week, like what our highlights were. And he would say he went flawless in the Trials of Osiris. I had no idea what that meant, but I was like, dang, that's cool. I just, I wanted to find a way to connect with him, spend a little bit more time with him. He took over our old Xbox. So I went out and I bought my own Xbox, I bought my own TV, and I bought Destiny. And I hopped on Destiny and I started playing it so I could start playing it with him. And about 2 weeks into playing Destiny, I tried my first raid. I tried out King's Fall. Sometimes late at night when I'm just chilling, I'll pull this up and I'll just look at it. Just as like a memory, right? King's Fall all the way back. This is my first ever raid clear ever. And the reason I fell in love with Destiny in King's Fall is not really actually because of King's Fall. It was because of the individuals that I did King's Fall with. I couldn't believe how patient they were with me, how much time they were willing to set aside, how helpful they were, how like they took the time to explain everything to me. They took the time to make sure I understood the mechanics. They took, like, when I wiped, when I screwed everything up, it was, oh, all good, man. I grew up playing Call of Duty, where it's like, people aren't exactly super friendly on Xbox Live and Call of Duty. And so like, it was a crazy experience for me. I think I didn't realize it at the time, but like looking back, hindsight, it's clear as day to me that the entire reason I fell in love with Destiny was inside of this King's Fall run because I played with this team, because of these folks that they just took their time with me. They helped me out and they were so nice. And I suppose after that run, I always kind of felt a responsibility to pay it forward, if that makes sense. They were so patient with me. They were so willing to help me. So I wanted to help other people. I wanted to give people that same feeling that those individuals gave me that made me fall in love with Destiny here in this raid. And so I started doing raid Sherpas. I started and anywhere I could, I would make friends. I would aim to teach people. I wanted to teach people. I would go out of my way to find people to teach and help people. I never thought I would stream the game or anything like that. The whole streaming thing came about in 2020 when I had just graduated college. So I graduated in 2020 with a computer science degree. I was using that degree to do development for a company. And it was right when COVID happened, and I was so unfathomably bored. I would do my 8 hours, but I couldn't go outside. We were quarantined. There's nothing I could do. So when I finished my workday, I just started streaming. I just gave it a go. And one of the main things I would do on my stream, funny enough, one of the main things I still do on my stream is just helping people. I had no idea that it would turn into what it's turned into today. YouTube right here, 569 videos, a lot of which are guide videos. Pretty much all are build guide videos, at least most of the good ones. 300,000 subscriber, well, almost 300,000 subscribers. If you're watching this right now, if you haven't subbed yet, we're super close. You can be the 300,000. It'd be great. Over 4 years of content creation on the side while I was working my day job, eventually I decided, I kind of want to see what I can do with this and see if I can take it full time. And so about 4 months ago, I left my job. Now I'm a full-time Destiny 2 content creator. And then 3 days ago, all of the layoff news, all of the there is no Destiny 3 in development news, all of the Destiny is looking rough news basically hits. And it's inevitably it's forced me to question, what does the future look like for my YouTube channel? What does the future look like for my live stream? What does the future look like for my occupation? Am I even going to be able to be a full-time content creator moving forward? Most of my time the past 3 days has been spent contemplating what the next moves are, the long-term journey look like what does my life look like? What baskets do I put my eggs into? Is it a dumb idea to continue to do Destiny? Should I abandon Destiny completely? Should I stay with Destiny just a little bit, but like put my main focus on variety? Should I do a little bit of variety and keep my main focus on Destiny? Should I stay exclusive to Destiny? And I've kind of decided what direction I'm going to go. And I say kinda because things can always change, right? There's always new news. There's always new games coming out. There's always new news coming from Bungie. So things can change, but right now, this is where I'm at. There's been an unfathomable amount of support shown to me on all platforms. My YouTube has had such incredible positive reception, so many amazing comments, so many kind words, and my live Twitch streams have been the single most important factor that allowed me to make this a full-time gig for myself. It baffles me the amount of people that come into my live stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, referring to my Twitch live stream, twitch.tv/Mactics, it baffles me the number of people that come into the live stream and, you know, the kind words they say, how much time they spend in here, how much they interact with our community, and how much financial support they show to the channels. I mean, I still wake up like every day and I can't believe it. The number of people that seem to have so much faith in my content, who seem to appreciate the things that I make so much that they feel compelled to financially support my channels, to basically invest in my channels, to give me the ability to continue making content that they enjoy. The amount of people that come in and do that is, I can't believe it. That single thing is what gives me the confidence to know that whatever direction I do decide to go, I can make it work, because with a community as supportive as y'all with me, not behind me, with me, with a community that's supportive, I can do anything. It feels like it doesn't matter what game I cover. It feels like it doesn't matter what type of content I make. It feels like none of that matters. It feels like that community will always be with me and always be supporting me. I don't know why. I don't know what I did to deserve that. I do a lot of meditation when I go to bed. And one of the main things that I try to do is reflect on the things in my life that I'm thankful for, reflect on the things in my life that I'm appreciative of. The two things that always pop up on a nightly basis are my wife, who's sleeping right next to me, and the supportive community that's helped me live my dream. So I feel like whatever we do, we'll be able to make it work. A lot of stuff about the future of Destiny is still in the rumor stage. And when I say the rumor stage, I mean, all we have heard from Bungie, there was layoffs. But we do have a lot of info from a lot of credible sources. And when I say credible sources, I mean journalists who cite their sources as being current and former Bungie employees. So whilst these communications are not coming directly from like a Bungie blog, I feel like the information's pretty reliable. And there's two main things that I want to look at. This week, to learn more about what happened and what comes next, I spoke to 10 current and former Bungie employees who asked not to be identified because they were not authorized to speak to the press. Again, this is Jason Schreier, Bloomberg News, pretty reputable source, at least from what I've seen from him in the past. And like anything that this guy reports on seems to be pretty well-founded. And there's a lot of not good stuff in here, right? Laying off 220 people is never going to be good. Saying that Destiny 3 was never in development is not the greatest thing to hear. Seeing that they had like 6 side projects going on that they basically all scrapped is not a great thing. seeing that they're moving the bulk of their team to Marathon is not a good thing, at least if you enjoy Destiny. The thing that made me feel decent, right, is in the coming months, Bungie will look to retain and attract players with smaller scale content drops, which sounds bad at first, but then we see modeled after Into the Lights, which was the update that we had in April, which was Onslaught, the 12 revamped weapons, the Destiny favorite weapons, 0 Hour, the Whisper mission, Pantheon. I thought it was one of the best content drops in the history of the game. Like, when looking at the seasonal or episodic model, in my opinion, there's only like 2 or 3 seasons in that entire 5 to 6 year period that are anywhere near as good as what Into the Light was. So needless to say, Into the Light was really good. And to hear from 10 former and current Bungie employees that their plan moving forward, Bungie's plan moving forward, is to make more stuff like Into the Light, that makes me feel really good. Rather than selling this content, they said, Bungie will aim to release it for free, along with overhauls to activities that it hopes will appeal to hardcore players. When they say hardcore players, I think they're talking about like long-term players as opposed to like end-game sweat players, if that makes sense. That's because that's the energy I got from reading this. The other thing gave me a lot of hope is the paragraph right under it that says, fans have wondered if Bungie might one day start anew with Destiny 3, but such a project has not been in development, which is unfortunate. But Bungie is instead looking to create a smoother onboarding process for Destiny 2, such as a rebranding to attract new players who might be turned off by a game that can now feel impenetrable to those unfamiliar with its ample proper nouns. Which, in my opinion, one of the biggest issues that Destiny has always had. If you go to Steam right now and type in Destiny 2, if you're someone who's like, oh, I'm considering trying out Destiny 2, and you pull up the page, you go to download the game, oh wow, the Final Shape, Lightfall, Witch Queen, Forsaken Pack, Beyond Light Pack, Shadowkeep Pack, 30th Anniversary Pack, Legacy, like if you're just gonna be like, never mind. I'm just gonna find something else. Enshrouded, okay. Oh, okay, there's only 2 options. I either just get the game or I get the game plus the soundtrack. Okay, I'll just get the game. Problem solved, all done. Like, and I'm not saying Enshrouded is a better game than Destiny. I'm just saying the onboarding process for Destiny is an atrocity, because even if you do decide to ultimately download the game and do the free-to-play experience, anyone who's ever touched the free-to-play experience knows that it's unfathomably confusing and not very enjoyable. Get a free-to-play game, or free-to-try, rather, more accurately, and you have a terrible experience with the free version, why would you ever then go and spend money to buy the expansions to go and play the rest of the game, which is actually good? So I'm really hoping that their focus on making Destiny easier to get into and more enjoyable to get into, for that matter, I'm hoping that makes people more willing to come back and more willing to try, and with that in conjunction with Into the Light style content drops, I think that could be okay. Not just okay, I'm like, could be good. I've felt for a long time that when it comes to Destiny expansions, like the model that Bungie has for annual expansions has been pretty rough. Once a year we get an annual expansion. Well, recently it's been once every 1.5 years because they keep having to delay them because it seems like it's taking their team too long to make them. Our annual expansion consists typically of a campaign that every single person plays a maximum of 3 times. That is typically so on average. I mean, Final Shape campaign was really good, but if we look at all the Beyond Light campaign, Shadowkeep campaign, Witch Queen campaign was really good. Lightfall campaign was an atrocity. If you add all these campaigns together and the quality of them is kind of it's average. You then couple that with a massive new destination or massive new patrol zone that is typically only interacted with for like a week. Who's spent more than an hour on Neomuna Patrol in the past 6 months? Who spent more than 60 minutes on Neomuna Patrol in the past 6 months? Like, can you imagine how much time must have gone into this destination? just for us to never touch it. People don't really care about this stuff. I mean, they care about it for a week. Bungie is not putting a lot of time and attention into the things that people care about long term. They care about replayable content. They care about the loot grind. They care about new strikes that can then be turned into GMs. They care about new PvP maps that they can then play for Trials of Osiris weekends and play on Iron Banner weeks. They care about the replayable stuff. All this to say is there's been a lot of bad that's happened in the past couple days, and the, things at a glance are looking rough. And I'm not saying that we're guaranteed 100% fine, but I generally lean a little more optimistic than I do pessimistic. They say they're looking at focusing on doing more stuff like Into the Light content drops, making more stuff like the Coil, and leaning away from things like big destinations, big campaigns, things of that nature. Just to be completely honest, I mean, if you took the layoff news out of the equation, I'd overall be pretty happy about the direction that Bungie is going right now, right? I'm not entirely convinced that it's as doomed as maybe it originally seemed. I'm not as convinced that Destiny is automatically dead as maybe I originally thought. I also love Destiny. I love playing this game. I genuinely love playing this game. There are few like it. There are none like it. In fact, if there were games that were genuinely like Destiny, that were as good as Destiny, this game would have died a long time ago. For all the faults it has, it is a genuinely very, very good game. And I love playing it. And the news is rough, and it's looking bad, and it's looking scary, but I do see hope. I see a reason to hope a little bit. Might be a fool's hope, but I'm still going to hope. And for that reason, I don't intend to fully move on from Destiny in any capacity. In fact, I intend for it to remain my primary content source. I intend to continue to make build videos. I intend to continue to make guide videos for solo flawless dungeons, new dungeons, exotic missions, for Grandmaster Nightfalls, for new raids. I intend to continue sticking with this game as my primary content source. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be unwilling to dip my toes in variety content. In fact, I would be more than willing to try out some other games and try out some content with other games, whether that's a YouTube video or a live stream. The problem with a lot of other games is my YouTube content style is very guide focused and very information focused. I'm not big into the entertainment style of YouTube video, right? And for that reason, there's a lot of games that just aren't great for my content style. Like me being a League of Legends content creator on YouTube doesn't make any sense. I'm not gonna make League of Legends guides. That's not a thing, right? There's no Fortnite guides. There's no Apex Legends guides, right? So if I do decide to try and adventure into variety content, at least through YouTube, when it comes to YouTube videos, I think it'll be with games that are constructed in such a fashion where I can make things like build guides, make things like mission guides, make things like quest guides. The main thing I want to make sure that I'm doing, or rather not doing, is I want to make sure that I'm not forcing myself to make variety content just for the sake of making variety content. I want to make content that I enjoy making. And I think that's why my content has always resonated with a lot of people on YouTube. I think that's why my live streams have always resonated with a lot of people. I think, my YouTube content has resonated with some people so much so to the point that they come over to the Twitch stream and they hang out here because they, it seems to have an impact. And I always feel like it makes it resonate with people. And the thing that makes it feel so impactful, I genuinely enjoy making it. I love making the content that I'm making. I love it. And so if there's another game that I love in a similar vein that I love Destiny, then I will absolutely look to make content for it. If there's not a game out at a particular moment that doesn't scratch that itch for me, then my focus is going to be completely on Destiny. I'm going to play Destiny until the servers die. I'm going to play Destiny, I'm going to make content on Destiny, and I'm going to stream Destiny until the servers shut down. I'm going to do it until I literally am, it is impossible. I'm going to do it until I'm incapable of doing it anymore because I can't even log into the game. If this ends up being the wrong call, if Destiny implodes tomorrow and I lose all my viewership, everyone stops watching me on YouTube, everyone stops coming to the streams, and I can't really seem to make it work with another game. Absolute doomsday worst case scenario, got a software development degree in my back pocket. I can go out and go find another job, maybe stream as a hobby a little bit, and ultimately I'll be okay. Last thing I want to do is rely on you guys to subsidize my life. Doesn't seem fair to you guys. We've always had an unspoken agreement of I make things that you enjoy watching. If it's your prerogative, 100% optional, if you're feeling generous or if you'd like to, you financially support the channels, and I use that financial support to continue making things that y'all enjoy watching. So if we ever get to that point where I'm unable to continue to make things that you guys enjoy watching, I will 100 times out of 100 say, guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the amazing career opportunity. Thank you so much for supporting me and all of my content. Thank you so much for supporting me in my dreams. I'm going to go find another job, and that's completely okay. I will do that 100 out of 100 times before I ever throw out a ping in my Discord server or get up on stream and say, guys, please, guys, if you guys could just send me, a little bit of money to hold me over for this month, and then I'll be able to continue being a full-time content. No, never gonna happen. Hopefully it doesn't come to that anyway, though, because like I said, I am confident that Destiny will still very much have a lot of life in it. I'm very confident that we're still going to be able to make a lot of content both on the YouTube channel and on the live streams that is extremely interesting and that people enjoy watching and that resonates with people. And I'm also very confident that there will be some games that come out in the future that resonate very strongly with me to make some content from. Right now, I'm sticking with Destiny. And the reason is not because I trust Bungie. The reason is not because I trust the direction of the game. The reason is not because I trust the Bungie C-suite. The reason is not because I trust Sony to oversee Bungie and make them get their stuff together, right? The reason I'm sticking with Destiny is because I trust the community in Destiny. I trust that if there is ever a game that's going to have people that are going to stand by the game and continue playing it and continue hanging out and continue running activities with friends, running activities with clannies, watching videos, watching build guides, and just enjoying the game, I'm going to trust that the game that I fell in love with in the first place because of those values that I saw in other people, I'm going to trust that that's the game that deserves my trust. Not necessarily the game that deserves my trust, I suppose, but that's the community that deserves my trust. And so I'm going to stick with that community, and I'm going to stand by that community. And I'm feeling pretty good about it.